God created the heavens and the earth. And despite what many may say about that today, God was not ashamed to make this claim. He doubles down on it in the book of Genesis, Job, the book of Isaiah, the Psalms, and many other books of the Bible. We also know that Jesus was with them from the very beginning. We'll find that in Genesis chapter 1 and the Gospel of John chapter 1. After God created the heavens and the earth, he created Adam and Eve, and he gave them the most beautiful garden imaginable. They were only asked not to do one thing: eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And God tested his creation. He allowed Satan to slither into that garden and tell them that God was lying. If they ate that fruit, they would not die. So they did. Doing this allowed Satan and sin to roam this world freely. We Christians call this the fall. We went from the gift of a perfect life in a perfect world and disobeyed God and lost the chance of it all. This is why Paul will later call Jesus the second Adam, the one who didn't eat the fruit and lived a sin-free life. This was God's backup plan all along. It's why he allowed the snake into the garden. Sin got really bad after the fall. God became furious and sent a flood to kill every living creature except Noah and his family and two of each animals that he would place in his ark. Through Noah and his family, the world populated again, and God picked a man named Abraham to build a nation that he wanted to be a symbol for the world of how to live by God's standards. Their creator, a life that would allow us entrance into his eternal kingdom, which is the overall prize of the entire Bible. He promised Abraham his descendants would be as numerous as the stars, and he would give them a land of milk and honey. Abraham's family did grow, and they ended up in Egypt, where they multiplied. When God was ready, he sent Moses to lead the people out of Egypt. He split the Red Sea and gave Moses the Ten Commandments, but there were plenty more laws we call the Mosaic Covenant. One was to atone for their sin, they should sacrifice an animal. Even though God led Israel through the wilderness from Egypt to Canaan in a cloud by day and a fire by night, they rejected him every time the slightest thing went wrong. God gave them the land anyway because he made a promise to Abraham, and he did it through the conquest of Joshua and Caleb. Now, once in the land, Israel decided that they wanted a king to be like every other kingdom around them. This broke God's heart. He thought he had been their king since he led them out of Egypt. The people decided they wanted Saul, but God picked David as his replacement. David established Israel and grew its boundaries, but after David died, the kingdom split in two: Israel and Judah. Jesus comes from the line of Judah because God promised David that from his line would come a king that would rule forevermore. Each king of Israel and Judah after David fell far from his standards. Sin ran wild again. God got sick of the animal sacrifices and his own disappointment, and he gave Israel and Judah over to be captured by Babylon and Assyria. But before he did this, he sent prophet after prophet to warn Israel to repent, but they killed the prophets. God said he would still forgive his first love Israel, and Jerusalem was rebuilt under the supervision of Ezra and Nehemiah. Now God had a decision to make. He was very tired of us rejecting him. He was very tired of our sin. Should he just walk away altogether? Should he send another flood? He didn't do either of those things. He sent Jesus, his only son, a piece of him to the world as a human to bear the shame and burden of all of our sin, to be the ultimate sin offering. All we have to do to receive it is believe on the third day he rose, that he defeated death, and that he proved that he was from God. Do we live in an evil world? Sure we do, and we're responsible for it. God gave us freedom, and we've hung ourselves with it from the very beginning. And God's not evil either. We've rejected him from the very beginning of all of this, and he still offers us his eternal peace. He gave his son to die for you and for me. We are still alive today because of God's love. And he gives you the chance to choose to believe in him. He doesn't make you. Another sign of his acts of kindness. So what will you choose today? Have you ever looked at the Bible from God's perspective? If you do, it will remind you that every morning you open your eyes, you have already been blessed.